Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Sex and Suicide podcast. It is the Women Crush Wednesday segment this evening, and I have two special guests with me this evening. I have Miss Tiffany Blom. You can say hello. You can speak into the...
Hello.
Perfect. And I have Mr. Dan Shaba back in the co-hosting spot this evening.
Oh, amazing. I already got a co-hosting gig.
You do? Full time.
Full time.
You're not going anywhere. Permanent seat now.
Women Crush Wednesday. That's why I'm here. Are you trying to tell me something?
I'm trying to just, get you in touch with your feminine side a little more.
Okay, that's
all right.
Thanks, man.
So, Tiff, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Where are you from anyway? Let's tell everyone. You drove here quite a ways, huh?
I'm actually from Granton.
Granton.
Yes, but no one probably knows where that is.
Okay, so let's talk about Granton for a minute.
All right, what would you like to know?
Where is Granton?
It is about half an hour north of London.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you're not living there anymore.
Yes, I am.
You are living there?
Yeah.
Okay, but you're working...
I just quit my job in London.
Okay.
So, but I'm still working in St. Mary's.
Okay, St. Mary's. Okay.
Yes.
Glad I have that right. All of a sudden, I thought I was mixed up for a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought she was St. Mary's girl.
Well, isn't it?
I am. I tell people St. Mary's because literally no one knows where Granton is. But if you technically want to classify me from somewhere, it would be Granton.
Okay.
It says Granton on my address.
So born and raised in Granton?
Yes.
Granton, Ontario?
I just realized I probably shouldn't say that right now.
Why not?
Telling people I live in Granton?
Why? Because the population is like 6?
Yeah.
The other 5 people are like, oh!
Yeah.
I knew that.
Oh, they'll be able to find you. I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. I have seen some of your followers. It does get a little overwhelming at times. I've actually had to put someone in their place before you came on here. Did you see that comment?
No.
Okay. It was
Man, your comment killed me if that's what you're going to talk about.
Which one?
How did I miss it is what I would like to know.
Okay, so there was one comment. I know which comment you're talking about.
Oh,
a different one?
I know
this
the one
is-
you're
okay.
Is it you've been getting a lot of attention from...
From Pakistan, right?
Right.
That was the first comment.
Oh, he worded it way wittier than that.
What did I say? Oh, yes.
You're gaining traction.
Gaining traction in Pakistan. Because there was one gentleman from Pakistan that's following your page that literally posted at least 6 to 8 comments in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. And does that happen frequently for you?
Now it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that music video for it was Afghanistan. It was an Afghanistan music video.
Okay.
She did
So-
it for Afghanistan, the country.
No,
Like-
it was the artist was from Afghanistan. So
Okay.
when I shared it on my page, then that's when I started to get a lot of traction from
Right.
that.
Okay. So small town girl from the good looking women are always from small towns. Do you find that?
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
from a small town.
Yeah. Where are you from, bud?
Just beside Granton.
What's that place called? I'm waiting for a pun.
Ajax? Isn't that close?
I thought it was gonna be something like Schmanton, some kind of pun that he was.
Yeah, that's
he was
what I
gonna
thought
play
too.
off.
I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
there's
I
something good
had
there.
nothing.
So how was growing up in Granton, Ontario?
I was good. Well, we actually live out in the country, so it's a lot nicer.
Okay, so how was growing up in high school and everything in between for you?
It was good. My public school was actually amazing. I had a great time in public school. High school is a little bit different. I think it's just because high school is different for everyone. But
High school is different.
you're really trying to find out who you are, and there's
Right.
just a lot of clickiness going on in high school that I wasn't really too down with. But
Were you part of the popular kid group, or were you part of the?
I hate that question because I feel like it's such a vain.
It is. I know, but you can
And
always.
the answer is yes. That's why she hates the fucking question.
Because you can always kind of. High school is a tough time for a lot of kids, right?
It is.
And a lot of grown-ups and adults I talk to, a lot of their issues today still stem from high school, right?
I know, right?
So it's always.
It can be very traumatic for people. I actually feel really bad for people who had a hard time in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I had it pretty easy, but I know that there were certain people that really struggled with it.
That's why I just
Right.
didn't go. Felt like that was the easier way out.
Sure.
Just quit.
What were you doing when you didn't go to high school, by the way?
Drugs.
Really?
No. Yeah.
Prostitution.
Yeah. No, just a lot of work. I was just working.
Yeah.
I was working full time at McDonald's.
Right.
Just trying to make it and do music.
I
Right.
forgot you worked at McDonald's.
Yeah.
You told me that once.
Yeah, overnight shift.
You're still probably making more money than most kids at your high school at that time, right? The guy with the job.
Yeah, and especially the night shift, you get the premium. Mm-hmm. You got like the 25-cent premium, which at that time was $6.40.
Really?
Are you
$6.40.
serious?
Yeah, remember? I mean, just you realize now, like I sound like my grandpa or
I
something.
know. Minimum
You know
wage.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember when I got $0.25 an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. We I remember when I had my first job, I was Burger King, so I was your competitor, and
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember thinking like, oh fuck, someone would get $10 an hour. It seemed like it was ridiculously high,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And now that's minimum wage is actually more than $10.
Right.
It doesn't seem that long ago.
Right. But I mean, it's all relative. Like a pack of gum was, half a cent.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Exactly.
So back to high school.
Back to high school.
So you were one of the people that did okay in high school.
Yeah, I did all right, I think.
You did all right. Any boyfriends?
Too many, probably.
Oh, what age did you lose your virginity at?
What?
Yeah,
Here we go.
Yeah.
This is, you know what
I
kind of
think
podcast
my dad
you're on?
might be watching this, so I'm
Okay.
definitely not answering that
That's
question.
okay.
He doesn't have a phone, probably.
My dad told me that he watched our podcast last time.
Okay.
So, yeah. Might not. And I also have a lot of family on my Facebook, too, that I probably would.
Look at that. We
Chances
have
are that number's really low if she doesn't want to say it.
we have a we have a proper lady on the show this evening, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. That's fine. We don't have to talk about those things if you don't want to. We'll talk about your other struggles as an artist, an actress. By artist, you're a singer. Do you do any other kinds of art?
I do actually like to draw and paint sometimes.
Okay.
But rarely. If I ever get like the urge to do it, I do enjoy it though. Like I always liked it all through high school because we had time to do that, right? Because you had a whole class that was designated to art, just art. So I like it, but I don't engage in it too often.
Okay.
Mostly just music. Yeah.
What did you think that out of high school you wanted to be an actress?
Always.
Always.
If you look at my high school and my public school yearbooks, it says like your goal or what you want to be. It was actress, singer, always.
Right.
Yeah.
So did you pursue that right out of high school, or did you go to the post-secondary education?
I went through for a hairstylist actually.
Okay.
Just because they really
Seems in line.
they frown upon
Yeah, beautiful hair, by the way.
Yeah.
all through high school. I feel like they really, and I always said that to my teachers, but I feel like they really frown upon you trying to get a career in that field because it's a little bit unrealistic, right? So I think they just want to try and give you realistic expectations. So I think it kind of like it discouraged me a bit when they tell you that. I'd rather have them be like, yeah, that's great, just encourage me to do it, because I would have pursued it more, I think.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't have let that affect me anyways, but I did. And it was my parents really wanted me to go to university, and I was like, I don't want to go to university, but I like doing hair, I like makeup and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So, and I'm not upset that I went, because now I know exactly what it helped me out, like physically.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, so I did that, and then I went later for aesthetics as well.
Okay. So you did the whole, so you know how to take care of everything on yourself
Everything.
and everyone else if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. So what about
What tips would you make for him?
I was just going to do the exact same thing. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
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 Good for you.
I think you guys look great.
Aw, that's
What a
a safe
good
way.
liar.
That's a safe way to play it. Thank you. So I just want to get back to that for a second, because you talk about the teachers, the teachers kind of discouraging you from following your dreams in a sense. How do you feel about that? I mean, because you didn't have that in your life really, right?
No, not really.
You just had people telling you outside of the educational environment.
Well, it was the teachers as well, like pretty much saying that, you're heading down a path that's going to end up, you're going to be a nobody. That was pretty constant. And I guess I just didn't feel like hearing that subconsciously. I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I was gone regardless. But I think what she's saying is very true.
Absolutely.
I think because at the end of the day, a lot of the people that say they want to make it, they're just not going to. There's
Right.
just not enough room. If everybody made it, then there wouldn't be any mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
There wouldn't be any engineers.
Right.
There'd be so many people in acting, and there just wouldn't be enough room. So the likelihood of you getting in there is super tough. But
Exactly.
and a lot of the times they're going to be right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Unfortunately.
I don't fault them.
Yeah.
But it's the rebels that just go, you know what, fuck you, I'm gonna make it.
Absolutely.
Doing it.
Yeah.
And then
fuck it.
and use that as fuel rather
Yeah.
than a reason to stop.
Right.
Exactly.
I totally think that's the right attitude to have. And the one thing that I think about when I think about high school teachers is they probably didn't ever anticipate the fact that we could be doing this and streaming online to the numerous amounts of people. That
Exactly.
you can't see the future. Things are much more plausible now.
Yeah.
Than they ever have been, for especially what you guys do. And I know you're both kind of doing some stuff together here. You've done a video that got over 1 million views, which is fantastic. That's the start of hopefully something amazing for
Yeah.
both of you, right?
Yeah, we're working out something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what you're working on. We won't reveal it here.
Can't reveal it yet.
Okay, for sure.
It's gonna be funny.
It will be hilarious. I can't wait. And we've done podcasts on that specific topic before.
Yes, we have.
So I will definitely share that as soon as that's released.
There's
too.
the hint in there. The top pick.
The top
pick.
Top pick. You got it.
Top pick. There's just a word in between there that's missing.
Yeah.
Right?
Very, very clever, this gentleman, isn't he?
He is.
So that's the thing about teachers is that they can't see the future. So for any young adults watching that have been discouraged by something that someone has said, whether it's in high school or a parent, they can't see the future. They can't see where technology is headed. Mm-hmm. You might have an opportunity if you just don't give up.
Exactly.
And I know you're a big fan of when's now a good time, and continually just keep moving forward and don't stop. Mm-hmm. Just do.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you always been a doer?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had times where I felt like giving up or whatever, but I just don't feel happy if I'm not doing it. So I decided that in order for me to be happy in life, I need to keep pursuing this, because otherwise I'm just not going to be happy. Like, I need this.
You've kind of taken that other road, which was the hairstyling and aesthetics.
Yeah.
And you still...
And I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fun. I kind of do it in my spare time, and I have my clients that I do every now and then, but it's just, it's not this. It's not the same. Like, it's not, I don't have the fire and the passion for it that I have for this. Like, this is what I've wanted ever since I was like 5, until I was like, I first picked up a microphone. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, what happened between high school and finishing your programs with hairstyling and aesthetics to now? What was going on?
I was always working on music.
Always?
Yeah, acting came in a little bit later. There weren't too many opportunities around where I live for acting.
Right.
But I was in like several bands. I always kept the music thing. Music was the one thing that I was really going for until I think I hit about 25, and then I actually got my first role, and it was called Daughter of the King.
Okay.
And then once I did that, I was like, ooh, I really like this too. But I always liked acting all through public school too. So it wasn't anything new. I always knew that I liked performing.
So you were one of the women that was always in the plays and things like that?
Not
or?
in high school,
No?
because there was that whole like drama geek thing.
Yeah.
That if you were in drama, that you were
Yeah,
not
that
cool.
sucks, eh?
It
Yeah,
does.
it's weird.
And like music. Same thing with music. I didn't do music in high school because but I'm not really into like that type of like classical type music anyways.
Right.
But I mean, if I could have like played the piano in high school, I would have loved that. And I think we did have a piano actually, but yeah, I didn't want to be classified as
One of those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you kind of get picked on a little bit for that,
they
right?
do get picked on, and
Yeah.
it's sad.
And these are the kids that are probably, I mean, there's obviously
Working
kids
at Burger King today.
Well, I mean, at least they're exploring their creative side. That's something that I think needs to be pushed a little harder this day and age, because now with the opportunities, look at you, buddy. Mm-hmm. You have one of the most creative minds that I've had the pleasure of kind of meeting, right?
Thanks, man.
You're welcome. And it's working for you.
It is, yeah.
When everyone told you that it wasn't going to.
Yeah, very much so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not even just that. Like, it's funny how whenever you have any type of dream or any type of goal that just seems bigger than the person you're talking to has ever kind of thought up, immediately you're crazy.
Right.
Immediately. Doesn't matter what it was. I remember getting in when I was in Vi, for example, like getting into network marketing.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to get that BMW.
Right.
I want to get that Beamer. And so I literally joined essentially for that, for financial reasons. I saw it as a platform to get in shape and care about my health, but I also saw it as, okay, I want this BMW. And I remember my dad was like, you're never getting BMW ever. You're stupid for thinking this. He's Arab, right?
Okay.
That's not a very good Arab. I don't know what accent I was doing there. But he's like, you're never getting a BMW. And now you kind of got two choices. For most people, they're going to go, oh, he might be right.
Right, sure. Yeah.
I just broke my phone.
Okay.
But for me, it was like, you watch, man. You watch. And I think those words just
motivated you.
They're just fuel. I needed a BMW. It took premium anyway, so I needed as much fuel as I could get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that premium gas is expensive.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
Kills.
So any story like that with you? Did you have any material things you were after at all? Like when you think about getting into the limelight and the spotlight, what is it that excites you there? Is it something from here or is it something external?
Honestly, I feel like it's just being able to make a living doing something that I love.
Right.
That would make me really happy.
So you're following your passion right now, nothing else.
Yeah.
Right. And just the other stuff is kind of the gravy if it comes. Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice, obviously, all of the perks that come with it, but there's also a negative side as well, which he tries to remind me of sometimes too.
What's that?
The negative sides
Of being famous and being getting.
Tell me what the negative side is.
Of course, there's always going to be the yin and the yang, right?
Because then you won't be like it depends what level of fame you hit, right? So if you become like an A-list celebrity, then you can't literally like go anywhere without being noticed. And sometimes we all want to be able to just like leave the house, and not be able to like be bothered by anyone. But that's not even going to be a case anymore. But I feel like I could deal with that.
You want that?
Yeah.
She craves that.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to seclude yourself in this little mansion, big mansion, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what you want to do. Like that's okay. That's the dream.
Yeah, I would be fine with it.
I love how you can just say it flat out.
Yeah,
that's amazing. If you can just openly say that, I think that like for me it would be anxiety producing to be that level. It's just even going out and we've all experienced a little bit of that, right? I think Dan probably has the majority of it right now with being, for those watching, Dan is one of the pun guys. You can go to their page if you're watching and check out what he does. But their page has over 1 million views or 1 million likes in a community.
1 million likes on the page.
On the page, the views are getting your top view is what 52 million or something.
It hasn't hit. It hasn't. Well, so Facebook works kind of. Not all the views are. Will show together on one single video. It's 48 million, but that video had been shared multiple times, so it's probably anywhere. It could be at like 60, 65 million.
Right.
Like if you add it all up. So I mean, you think about that. That's everybody in Canada watching it twice.
Absolutely.
Or all of California watching it.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. Sure.
So, and that's just one video. So when you think about, I'm getting stopped constantly.
Yeah.
And this is unreal to me. This is crazy. So we have the conversation about this. And I say, like, even for me, who's nowhere near any type of level of fame. Like,
Right.
And for me, there's times where I'm like, can you fuck off?
Yeah.
I'm shitting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, no, obviously not that.
Have you ever had anyone try to talk to you while you walk in a stall at all? Is that something that's actually happened?
I had it once, when I went into the White Oaks bathroom.
In the mall?
In the mall, yeah. I had
someone tried to talk to you while you're taking
someone just talked to me. And I'm always for it. Like, I'm always going to be for it. Like, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
He wanted to shake my hand. I was like, let me wash my hands first.
Sure.
Let me do that
quick.
As a courtesy. Or wash yours, depending on how long you've been here. When you're waiting.
No kidding. Maybe we should watch them together. Let's have that bonding experience.
Yeah. And so I tell her, I can only imagine what it would be like, let's say, to go from maybe a D list, who knows, whatever you want to classify it as, to an A list.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you talk to a lot of these people, they're gonna tell you that there are a lot of negatives that are involved with that. And I think you got to be careful what you wish for.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think at that point, you kind of feel like you're being pulled in so many different directions. And is life really your life at that point, or is it for everyone else? And don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm all for living your life to serve others and to give, right, as much as you can. But the people that aren't in that headspace, that might be a fucking challenge.
Yeah.
They might feel like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No wonder so many of them have to kind of fuck off for a bit to find themselves. I mean, it can be overwhelming.
I think that's where personal growth and meditation is. If you're doing that, I think definitely helps.
Yeah,
a lot of it. And remembering every morning why you're doing what you're doing, and you wanted this, because the more people that know you, the more you can help. So if you just keep having that positive attitudes towards it, then
that's true.
That's not the reason she wants to get famous. She just ego trip.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
It sounds like it's a dream that you're going to continue to follow no matter what.
Oh, yeah. I have to.
So tell me some of the challenges that you've faced. Can we say how old you are or no?
That's fine.
Okay, so how old are you?
I'm fine with my age.
Okay.
38, right?
62.
62. I thought it was 69. Got to do something sexual here. Come on.
Well, it wasn't our video.
I know,
6
exactly.
and 9 together.
So
6 and 9 together.
6 and 9
I mean,
together.
our whole video is based off that.
It was based off sex, yeah.
31.
31. You're 31 years old.
Yes.
So what is your biggest struggle right now with trying to pursue your dream from other people and their mouths?
Honestly, I'm going through a really good time right now.
Good.
I would say, like, before I ended up meeting up with him, that's when I was kind of starting to be like,
Yeah, were you having doubts at all?
Yeah, I think
it's hard on your own, right? Like it's definitely.
it's hard when you don't know.
Sorry, keep going.
Is there something?
Are we showing off?
I had a
Kim
joke. I'm
Kardashian's
having a
ass?
joke with the people that are watching right now because I went to go take a sip, and then there's all I see is leaves, and I was like, I wanted you not to notice.
So tell me about your leave fetish or your phobia, I guess it is in this case.
My leaf fetish?
Your leave phobia.
I don't like them. It makes me want to leave.
There we go. There we
Can't
go.
believe
You
you.
drank it all.
What's that?
You drank it all already.
But you're into the health and lifestyle. So is that bad for you?
No, it's not. It just weirds me out if I didn't make it.
Okay. I love how he waits and stares at you to see if you get it.
He can keep like a straight face through anything. Like sometimes I don't know if he's kidding or not.
Okay, back to you. back to you. No, I wanted to see what was up there. I thought he was turning it so that everyone could see Kim Kardashian's
So did I.
ass.
That's what I thought he was doing.
Well,
too.
that's a solid placement right there.
Kardashian.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
missed it.
So
Over Sean's head.
until you met Dan, which is a great, obviously great connection to have.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was a bit of a struggle. How so?
I'm just trying, like, it's hard for me too. I should really have made the move down to Toronto, and I think I've kind of been sitting on that for like the past few years. Just
Why
'cause, like,
why is that?
Because everything's in Toronto. All the auditions are there, and they
If you're
give
Canadian.
Yeah, and they give you like a day's notice. So like if you have a job or a life in general, then like you need to put everything on hold and like go down there. You drive for like 2.5, 3 hours depending on traffic. Mm-hmm. You get there, you audition for 5 minutes, and then you drive all the way home. It's just like so it got a little bit overwhelming to do that. So then I kind of stopped doing that. But then I was sending myself for I was basically like my own agent, which is what I am now as well.
So you don't have an agent right now?
No.
Really?
I don't.
I told her she needs to create a fake one.
Just to make the fake phone calls for her and stuff?
No, the fake emails.
Oh,
It's way better.
Yeah.
I know people in Hollywood that do that.
Yeah.
Still to this day. Like I got a buddy that was in American Sniper, and he and the way that he did that was through a fake agent that he created.
Really? So
Yeah.
he had control behind the scenes of everything.
Right. He would email the people as Helen,
Right.
let alone it's him the whole time, right?
Really?
So
Gotcha.
there's always a way. There's somebody that's out there that's just willing to figure it out. That's
Sure.
willing to work harder and that will go all in. And we talk about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why did you just quit your job? You quit your one job, right, in London.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
So I could work on this like full time.
And what do I keep telling you to do?
Quit my other one.
What's your other job?
Same thing. I work at a bar in St. Mary's.
Okay, so you were working 2 bar jobs?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That's hard to walk away from too because it's sort of instantaneous cash
Exactly.
injection right away.
Yeah.
So
and
what?
it's a fun
Yeah.
job.
But
too,
there's somebody out there that's willing to get rid of that comfortable feeling, and that's going to make it before you. And I truly believe that. Like, you know, I think about some of the things that that successful people will do in order to live their dream, and you have to just go all in. And I feel like until you go all in, it's always going to be half-assed. You're never going to reach the full like oomph that you can possibly go. I'm telling her, quit your job because now you're forced to make it work.
Yeah, sure.
You're forced to make
have
it.
no choice.
No choice but
Yep.
to make it work.
Yeah.
And I think it's a powerful tool, but people fear that feeling.
Yeah, sure. It's a feeling of it's a huge feeling of insecurity, and security is what people crave almost the most in life, right?
Which is the one thing that you need to crave the least.
Right. Is security?
Yeah, because risky is the new safe. It is. Especially in this day and age, you go to college and who knows, like job's gonna be gone before you know it.
No, I agree. There is no safety net anymore, and education isn't it.
Yeah.
There's people that call it luck or whatever, but I mean these businesses that are started, like you say, going all in. You talk about some of the monster companies and corporations now started in a fucking garage.
Yeah.
Of bunch of poor guys that
Wolf
just
of Wall Street.
yeah.
And how many times do you hear it saying, if you listen to every one of their stories, it'll always start off with, I was broke as hell.
Yeah.
I had nothing. I was living off food stamps.
Yeah.
You know, I was on welfare.
Yeah.
Just trying to make this thing work.
Yeah. For a lot of those cases, I went to a real estate wealth seminar in Toronto, which had Tony Robbins there not too long ago. And pretty much every speaker that spoke got a loan before, if this is real estate, mind you, but before they started investing in real estate, how did you do it? Oh, well, I had a family member that invested in me and they got the money from family. So I was thinking that whole time, I'm thinking, man, these people have some family that trust them and would float them more money than my family ever would.
Right.
Like, my dad's not about to give me 20 grand for a down payment on anything.
Right.
So these people are they have that, but a lot of those stories, those rags to riches stories, they had to fucking grind it themselves.
Yeah. Well, even getting that loan though, there are bad things to getting that loan so easily. Yeah. Now you got it easy.
Right.
You landed on second base, which so a lot of people. If I just had parents that would have just given me the loan. No, I think it's better that you didn't have parents that gave you the loan. So even if you're the guy that's getting the loan, you still have to have a level of mindset, because at the end of the day, it's still mindset. And I think those people that just get the money, they still, they didn't have the struggle, so they might not want it as bad. So you have to have twice as much hunger and desire.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you 100%. I think that mindset is everything, because when you're willing to do what other people won't, you will always have the things that other people can't.
Right. Exactly.
So that's what. Are you going to quit your other job now? Let's just fucking get it out of the way right now. Are you going to do it?
Let's make the call. Let's send the text.
Let's do it from right here.
This would be great. And this is one of those defining moments in your life.
It is.
Quit your job and then you have it on tape.
Absolutely.
Some of them might be watching this.
Okay,
that's
so
great.
What do we think? Sure.
It's done.
We need her to make the decision, though. The final call. Are you going to do it? Oh, she didn't expect this tonight.
Yeah.
Even cornered.
We brought you on the show to make you quit your job.
We brought you on the show to make you great.
Right.
God damn it.
Push you to the limits.
Yeah. Okay.
I always think, like, people are like, I'm in such a terrible situation. My life sucks. Everything. And I mean, they could very well have like the worst possible situation. I say, you know what? Good. I hope it gets worse. Because the worse your story, the better the story is going to be when you become successful.
Absolutely.
The better it'll become.
If you can reach that potential to like, obviously, it's still up to the person to change the way they think, right?
That's what I'm saying. They got to get there.
Yeah.
But when they do, that's such an inspiring story for somebody. And I used to think that all the time. Like, it's on welfare. So if I make this, that's going to be a good story.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah. And it's in the works right now, right?
Yeah,
which is cool. Yeah. But I love this. I love this phase right here, because you're kind of like in limbo right now.
Yeah.
For a little bit, right?
I know. Well, I'm definitely in limbo if I'm in London.
Okay, you're in limbo right now.
Stuck here.
But things have been working, and it's like this is the phase where you just have to kind of figure out what's next, right?
Yeah, there's so many different options.
Right.
I mean, go to LA, go to Toronto, go to Miami. Who knows? There's different opportunities everywhere. I'm just kind of figuring it out. And the recent meeting of Tiff and you and everybody else around here, that there's so many good people doing a lot of good things.
Yeah.
So it's just deciding who's gonna be the best.
Yeah. Did it just become a contest?
Just became a contest.
It became a what is that? A constructive kind of criticism and building each other up.
Just a positive boost.
Positive boost. I like that.
Yeah,
that's a good way to do it. What about you, Miss?
What about me?
When is your goal to be living down in LA? That is your dream, right?
I'd say
that's where you want to end up.
Yeah, that would be for sure. Like living there or like going there and like, because I have to worry about getting my visa and all that stuff, right?
Just forget about all that. Just like, what is your
I'd go down right now if I could.
You go down right now, right this second.
You can.
Nothing would hold you back.
You can.
Well, me and Haley are gonna take a trip down there. So.
It's not quite the same thing, but
I know.
I appreciate your dipping.
I haven't even been there yet, though. So like, I need to go there and see it.
Okay,
like, I
so you
haven't
need
even been to LA.
Fair enough. You need to dip your feet in the pool. I get it.
I get it.
I think you're gonna fall in love with it. Like, I think everybody that goes there kind of does. It's bright lights, stars everywhere.
Yep. I've heard that everyone is in the industry down there, so that
pretty
would be
much.
That'd be exciting.
Pretty much, yeah. I think what's great about LA, and I think you'll like that too, is everyone's motivated.
Yep.
It's rare that you run into somebody that's just like doing nothing, that binge watches TV and they they want to be on the TV.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
Right. That's most people there.
Do you find that this is a good question actually, like the people that you've run into, that are in the industry, or I know you haven't been to LA, but Dan has, so this is more towards him. Do they find like they have to watch certain films or TV shows as like research before they go in, or is that even non-important? That's like a non-issue.
No, I think everybody is still a student, so you're going to constantly learn and constantly grow, and I think it's important to. That's the good thing about being an actor and actress is to study those people, watch them, watch how they do it,
right,
and then you'll quickly realize how much you suck.
And
I'm not an actor, man.
Yeah,
I'm like right now. I mean, I'll do some, and she's she's teaching me a lot. She's teaching me a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he has a lot of natural talent for it. He's got very good timing, and he makes everything.
Have you taken acting courses before?
No, I haven't.
You've just kind of done this all on your own research.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. And you're teaching him.
I'm not against taking classes, though. I'd love to take some acting classes.
Right.
I was actually saying that we should maybe.
There's some good ones that I've heard.
Did I just do that?
Everybody's dropping shit. Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry.
Everyone's phone's broken by the end of this.
That's all right. It's all good.
Next episode sponsored by the iPhone. We replaced theirs.
So are you thinking that you want to go into, like, if you were to go into the acting world? I mean, I guess this is kind of for both of you, because a lot of the stuff you're doing right now is comedy based. Mm-hmm. Is that something? Do you want to be comedy, both of you, or do you have a different? I want to
do everything.
Everything.
Yes.
So you want to be like a chameleon.
Action, comedy, comedian,
yeah.
Comedy, horror, everything.
Yeah.
I'd love to do it all.
What about you, Dan?
I'm gonna stick with comedy for now, and then I like getting into some of the more serious stuff as well. But I think comedy's an easy entry. So I'll live in that area for a while.
Sure.
I can see you doing action movies.
Action movies. I could be maybe a bouncer.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel stunt double.
And I don't know if I shared the story last time. Did I share the story about how many times people came up to you when we were all out together in Grand Bend? Okay. And people, I was thinking, okay, they totally recognize him from Punk Guy. Has anybody ever told you look like Vin Diesel?
Oh my God, all the time. Man.
Yeah,
it happens just as much. When somebody's coming up to me, I don't know if they're going to tell me I look like Vin Diesel or they know me from the puns.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So I'll be like, "You're Vin Diesel. Are you the Pun Guy too?" Sometimes it's both. Yeah.
But in all fairness, when we were walking into the bar, some guy wasn't sure if it was you, and he said like the theme song or something, right?
Yeah. Start singing.
And then you're like, "Oh, I think that he recognizes me." He's like, "Oh no, I didn't even think it was you. It is you, right?" He got really excited. Yeah. It was really cool. Yeah. And have you had any feedback from your whole experience with the videos with Dan yet?
Like any recognition?
Yeah.
None.
No. We just need to do more, right?
The views, I was actually researching this. The majority of the views were in the States.
Yeah.
The majority are in the States.
Is that typical for your viewership?
Yeah, most of them are. But the reason why we did well in Canada is because we used some of the spots in Edmonton, and we were in White Oaks, and that kind of just spread.
Right.
So.
Right.
And then they realized we were from Canada, and then so on and so forth. So now we have a pretty good following here too now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So it's coming.
It'll happen.
Do you wait for it? Like when they recognize Dan, do you ever think like, no?
I never ever think anyone's going to recognize me. He's got a way bigger fan base than me.
But I think you're building, and not necessarily like I've seen some of the comments from men, and let's go over the comment that we originally discussed here earlier tonight.
Right.
So you have this following of people from wherever, right? And even tonight, you didn't see the comment that was left on the Sex and Suicide page. It said like,
"Oh crap!"
It said something like "sexy baby, gorgeous pussy" or something like that. No. And I had to step in and write a comment. I'm like, "Easy, dude. You need to tone it down a little notch."
And I did.
Yeah.
I deleted the comment, man.
Oh my God! I have this same bottle opener.
Do you really?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just.
Do you like wooden cock?
It was a gift from one of my girlfriends.
Could they see that from when you?
Maybe here I can hold it up for them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this is my my guest bottle opener.
I don't think mine has balls though. I think it's just the shaft.
I often say that I went over to a tribal village in Africa, and I sat there, and this was actually a carving made by a tribalman. So I sat there, and this is actually me.
Now, that's obviously not true.
That's yeah.
Because you've never been to Africa.
No. But you wanted to grab it anyway, didn't you?
For some reason, I did.
Yeah. So this was actually a gift from one of my good friends, Christine Figali, and she lived here for a little bit, and this was our Christmas gift. We all exchanged Christmas gifts. It all had something to do with dick.
Nice.
Yeah, we had it was funny how it all worked, except for because we live on Wolf Street, I got everyone butt plugs that had wolf tails.
Nice.
Yeah, those were hard to find. I don't even remember where I got them from, but
it's just so interesting. Just the bottle opener, like.
Yeah,
we could do anything with this. Let's make it a bottle opener.
Yeah,
for sure.
Fucking Baldo.
For sure. Have you ever been to? I mean, when I go to Mexico, though, like it's constantly in carvings. There's always dick on the stuff.
Everywhere.
Yeah, or like
why
tits.
is that?
Right?
Tits.
Yeah,
Tits
so
are
much
good.
of it.
And they're always weird looking tits too.
always
Like triangular, like weird,
anatomy. Yeah.
Egg.
Orangutan titties.
Like what does Peter Griffin say when he's like the whole like egg hanging on a nail thing? Yeah, what are we talking about for droopage here, Peter?
That might not look like that.
So what's the next step for you? I mean, are you going to continue to work closely with Dan? Are you still doing auditions?
Yep, I'm still doing auditions.
How do you get auditions without an agent now?
There's a website. It was called Mandy originally. Then they went to Casting Call Pro, and I think they're switching it back to Mandy again.
Okay.
But that's a good website. There's a website on Facebook. It's called eBoss. It's high paying job. So that one's good.
Right.
So yeah, you can there's just a bunch of different sites that you can sort of apply to yourself.
So again, technology, right? Like you're able to do things that you never were before.
Exactly.
Wow, that's wild. Mm-hmm. So are you getting any gigs?
Not yet.
No. So
There's
there's been
any gigs? You've been filming you filmed twice last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did you film? Are you allowed to talk about it? Because I know there's contracts and shit too. My sister does this.
Probably can't.
No, probably can't.
The giggle like I can't. Fuck. What do I do right now? How do I say no?
So when it comes to representing yourself, how are you finding that? Is it extra work for you, or are you enjoying it? Do you think
it's a lot of work, but it's nice because I can sort of pick and choose what's on my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I know that I can't be there on those shooting days, then I don't even bother applying for it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like other things, they don't tell you when they're shooting. They don't tell you anything. They just tell you you're supposed to be here at this time, and that's it.
How many gigs or sorry, auditions, I guess they are, because you haven't booked them. How many do you think you've gone to that you haven't gotten? And has that been discouraging?
I don't ever really get discouraged because every time I go to an audition, I always meet people.
Right.
So to me, it's
so it's networking still.
Exactly.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
You're probably getting better with every audition.
Yeah, and that too. I like it because it gives me more experience, right? Because I need it. It's hard to get up there in front of people and by yourself and just hope that you remember all of your lines and everything.
Right.
And I've botched auditions.
Right.
I've gone up there and forgotten everything that I was supposed to say, and I felt like an idiot.
Right.
But I just had to and I actually was really discouraged after that. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe this is the wrong career for me. But I was like, no, it was just a fluke thing. You've done several things. You've gone up and memorized whole plays. Like it was just like a weird day, an off day for you. So you just got to take it in stride.
Right. And what's that like, having to memorize? Because I don't think I could do it. That's the one.
It's the hardest part.
Yeah, is the memorization.
It's the hardest part.
I don't mind memorization as long as it's the one that I was going for that time was a technical audition. So it was speaking about I think strokes.
Okay.
So it was a lot of technical information, and I'm not good with that. I'm good with feeling.
Right.
So I'm good with emotions and that type of stuff. So I really like back and forth banter. Those types of scripts are really good for me.
Mm-hmm.
The ones where you have to memorize like really long monologues, I can as long as I can connect with them. If for some reason I feel like I can't connect with the script, then I have trouble.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's where it gets a little more difficult for you, is if you can't put yourself in the shoes of that role.
Exactly.
Okay. So what are your favorite roles to go to that you do put yourself in touch with?
I would say I love like creepy, like psychotic things. Yeah.
So you got a little bit of a dark side to you.
Yes. Everyone knows that about me pretty much. So I might as well just put it out there. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. I think that I just think that I could really like tap into that. And I think it's fun, like to play something that's like just so different, right?
So
I like different characters.
would you ever play like a mass murderer or something?
Oh God, yeah.
So that would
I would
be
be
something.
the best serial killer.
You get really excited about that.
Because people that play roles when they are themselves.
I've got like 5 bodies in
really
my
good.
trunk. Right
Yeah.
now.
So, would you have any kind of motivational words for anyone that's in your shoes right now that's thinking about quitting? Maybe they haven't run into the Dan Shaba that
Right.
is kind of helping them out a little bit. Is that fair to say? I mean, you're saying before you ran into Dan that it was discouraging, and now you see a little more
more light.
Yeah. Is that because you have faith in you've seen him kind of make it, and now you're like, okay, well, if he can do it, I can do it, or
yeah, and just like because Six With Me hit like over 1 million views.
Yeah,
I mean, I put out a music video that I worked pretty hard on for like 6 months.
Is this the Christmas sweater one?
No, that one's funny. But
I like that one.
That one is good.
Yeah,
but my videos. I mean, I think the most I have on some of my views is maybe. Is 3,000. You know what I mean? So hitting 1 million to me was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I just hit 1 million views. This is like the best day ever.
Right.
So yeah, no, it's definitely been. All my thanks goes to him.
No. That wouldn't have hit 1 million views if it wasn't for a pretty face.
Sure.
Nobody was watching that for me.
Yeah.
Brandon killed it.
Okay.
Yeah. She looked good.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there is something to be said. Yeah, we have a following that originally sees it. But if they don't like it, they won't share it. They won't comment on it. We put out stuff that flopped.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And they liked it.
Good.
They really liked it. So
good.
That's good. That's good news. So we'll try something else.
Yeah. And sometimes things that you think are going to hit won't hit, right?
Yeah. So that's constant. Well, if we're uploading it, we think it should do well. Like I have a pretty. I'm pretty picky with what gets released.
Right.
Really super picky.
So you're kind of in check with what the demographic is looking for?
Yeah, and if it doesn't hit, then I just go and I'll just wonder why and then course correct.
Right. When you want to fix that, do you go to the comments to see what the problem was, or?
Yeah, a lot of the times they'll tell you.
Right. They give the feedback, right?
They tell you.
Yeah.
They
no
tell
holding
you.
back.
Mm-hmm.
So was there anything discouraging about doing this video, or did you love every minute of it?
Six With Me? I had a couple people tell me that I was ugly as fuck. So
Are you serious?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But I just kind of laughed at it. I was like, ouch. Like, whatever.
Well, of course, when that happens, that's when you know you're on the right track.
When you start getting some shitty comments like that?
You know you're successful with the amount of hate you get.
Really?
100%.
I think some girl said I was annoying as fuck too. And I was like, I didn't write the script though.
You think about the biggest stars in the world, and they're the most hated at the same time.
Of course.
Right?
They get so much hate. So it's just something that it was just a small taste of what is to come. I need to get used to it.
You do.
Yeah, you need to love it.
There's a lot of people that are, for every 3 people that like me, there's going to be 3 people that hate me. So.
Man, I had one comment, I laugh at some of them so bad. Man, like there's a couple on the 40 rapper puns, right? One guy, so I mentioned Redman in that song.
Yeah.
Okay. And then one guy goes, "How could you say Redman and not Method Man, you faggot?"
Are you serious?
I was dead. I was laughing so hard at that, man. Like
people are ruthless still, eh?
It's
like,
just so funny because like
he's the one asking why you didn't mention another man first of all, and
because Method Man and Redman were a team.
I remember that, yeah.
But they're still separate artists, and I didn't really see a way that I wanted to use Method. It was kind of easy,
right?
And I didn't use that. And then another one because the black bar says "Guy puns 40 rappers,"
right?
And some dude says. Guy looks like a pussy 40 times. And I screenshotted it because I saved it so I can just laugh at that. Like, I love it. I actually think it's funny.
Yeah.
It is funny.
What he's saying is hilarious.
Do you ever see those like celebrity things where they have celebrities read out like
the tweets? Yeah, those are the
so
best.
Fun. They're just like
those are the best.
You have to laugh at them, right? Because like, what else can you do? You can't take them too seriously.
That's when you know you're successful. If you can write, if you can be on that segment.
Yeah.
If you have mean tweets about you,
sure.
That's when you've made it.
Sure. Some of those.
Everybody's your best friend coming up. Mm-hmm. Your parents aren't going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Your friends won't tell you the truth.
That's true.
Fans that you've never, or people that you've never met will.
Yeah.
Those are that's your true.
Yep.
I wouldn't say
feedback.
It's necessarily true what they're saying.
No, but that's the true feedback though, like that you'll get whether the majority is going to be positive, let's say.
Yeah.
But that's still that's what they think.
Right.
They're just those people don't hold back, is all I'm saying. Your like when your parents would.
Yeah. Now my mom. I told you what she said, eh?
I don't get it.
Yeah. I tried to show my mom their. I think it was your top pun video. I think it was the one where you guys were just sitting there. It was the one
like idiots.
Yeah. The drafting was the one that I remember the most because I liked that. And I showed her that, and she said, I don't get why this is funny. That's what she said.
That's amazing.
Like, Mom, she liked you when she met you, but she said, but she turned back
now
to
she
her.
doesn't.
She turned back to her book. My dad was laughing, especially the Rona ones. He laughed at those ones.
Because they're dad jokes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But anyway, parents can be on, at least other people's parents can be on.
Well, exactly. People that are not related to you in any shape or form. That's never met you or doesn't have like a, good connection with.
Right.
It's funny.
Yep. So what do we have that's in the works besides the video that you guys are kind of keeping hush-hush about? Do you have any other projects coming up that are outside? I mean, singing. We saw you sing
I'm
recently.
working on an album right now.
Are you really?
I am. Yeah, it's going to be my first actual album, so I'm pumped.
Good for you. And I still need a copy of your album, by the way.
What?
Your album.
Yeah, my album.
Nice.
Tiffany album.
I like that.
Maybe call it that.
You should. This is my first album.
My first album.
And I lost my virginity at 14?
No, God, no. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. God, no. That's way too late.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Way too late.
Oh, man. I'm just teasing you. So what do you have to say? We never really got past that. Stick with it. Keep going. Don't let people... Is it the typical stuff? Or do you have something really unique that you want to share?
I just feel like if you know that that's what you were put here to do and that's what your passion is, then do it. And don't worry about what other people are telling you or saying it's not possible. Just use it as what Dan said and use it for fuel and make it push you harder to do it.
And what is the most common thing that people say to you at your age?
Are we talking about like the marriage thing? Why am I not married?
Yeah. Like, how do you deal with that?
How the hell did you guys... I had no idea what you were just about to talk about there.
Oh, we had a conversation.
Can I be informed?
Okay, so... Tiff and I had a conversation. I don't remember when we had this conversation. It was recently.
Yeah.
And about sort of being 31 years old and trying to pursue singing and acting. And I said, what's the common thing that is the negative?
Why aren't you married? Why don't you have kids?
And that's what people expect, right? They're like wondering why she's choosing following her dream over just...
And then they think there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
They think they're like, what's wrong with you that no one wants to marry you?
Well, there is something wrong with you. You're not like everyone else.
Well, exactly.
But that's wrong to them.
Yeah, I was going to say
Right.
it's not.
Yeah.
Because everybody's zigging and you're zagging. And they're just like, why aren't you zagging?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're smoking weed then? Zigzag?
Zigzag.
Nice.
Well done.
There we go. I got one over your head for change.
You did.
Yeah, good work. There was another one that you did that I didn't catch. I'm just not used to other people doing them.
Right,
Yeah.
sure.
You
You wait for the response rather than the actual pun itself.
Right, because usually when they're talking, I'm like, I'm analyzing what you're saying. Is like, do I got one here? And then if I do, I'm like, ding, 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 and then I'll mention it.
Like the Terminator. Except this, when you have a good pun, you can kind of deliver. Do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
The Terminator looks
that.
for targets.
Exactly that. Precisely. And then so when you're saying one, I'm like, I didn't get one there.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
he made one.
Yeah, wait a minute.
He's just like screwed up my system.
That's amazing.
It's funny.
What about you, buddy? Do you have any big projects that you're allowed to talk about?
Yeah, we're working with a couple networks to try and get what Jesse and I do on the air.
On the air.
And I think we're gonna land on something. We just have to. That's why we're in this kind of limbo state right now. We're just figuring it out.
Sure.
With some producers out in LA that have some other projects they got to wrap up.
Yeah.
And then we're filming a pilot. We are filming a pilot. That's
Awesome.
definitely gonna happen. It's probably gonna happen by the end of the year. So
Awesome, man.
I only got the reason I'm here too is I got 2 months left on the visa.
Right.
Right, of the 6 months that you're allowed to spend in the States.
Right.
So I'm here for another 2 months.
And then you can go back.
And then I can go back for 2 months, like November, December, and then I got another 6 months. And then within that time, we'll get the visa.
Yeah.
So
Right on.
that's the plan.
That's a bitch of a process, and you're going to have to do that too if you want to get there, right?
Yeah.
What does that entail anyway?
It's a very... It'll be easier for you to actually get it. See, for me, I can get... The problem is you can upload a video anywhere. You
Right.
don't need to do it in the States. If you're getting work there, you're getting actual work.
Right.
That's why if we get this network thing happening, now we have actual work there.
Right.
We can go down there and film and do all that, but it doesn't require us to be there.
Right.
Because I could be in Granton and make the same videos.
Right.
I'd hate my life, but I could do it. I'm just kidding.
Is it that bad?
No, I love living
You
out
love it?
there,
Ah.
honestly. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's just so nice and peaceful.
So what are your thoughts on, like, okay, say this, I don't want to be sort of the negative Nancy here, but say that the network thing doesn't happen. You can still, do what you're doing and make it, right? Like there's no...
Yeah, long term, that's a goal. The fact that it's already a conversation is crazy.
Right.
Because that's not anything that we were really expecting so soon. Long term, it is.
Sure.
So we just keep doing what we're doing. I'm having a blast doing it. It's...
Yeah.
So we'll just keep making videos.
And even if it doesn't work out, I mean, do you feel... This is something that I always think about in the future. I think that TV is all going to be internet based anyway.
Right.
So like if you wanted to create your own show, you definitely could get your film crew, get your own ideas and fucking do it.
Well, essentially that's what it is anyways. We're already creating our own show. It's just not a national it's not a national network
That picked it up, right?
It's just that's all it is. And to me, I don't think there's ever anything like, it didn't work out type of thing. I don't necessarily believe in that. I think if I'm waking up
Yep.
and I'm doing what I want to do deliberately, it's working out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if I'm waking up and I'm being creative and I get to be funny and no one's telling me what to do, when to take a bathroom break, when I'm going to be hungry,
Right.
little things like that, then I'm okay. I've done it.
Yeah.
So there's as long as I don't go backwards,
Right.
I just keep staying on that path, and I think that's the same case for you. And it's just a consistent growth, consistently growing,
Like
and doing what you want to do,
like the tree, right?
like the tree.
Like the tree. You're either growing or dying.
Yeah.
You're
Right?
either growing or dying. Every time you quit a job, you're growing.
We still didn't get there. She's not going to
We'll get there by the end of the podcast.
How do you feel about that anyway? I mean, this isn't something, just be honest. I mean,
Feel about what? Quitting my job?
Yeah.
You want to
is
do
it-
it. She knows she needs to do it. I'm answering for
Is
you,
this-
but we've had this conversation.
do you feel like you need like a few more weeks or another month, or what's holding you back
Well,
from doing?
I don't know what my next step is. So I think once I figure that out.
But
then I'll have a
but
better
didn't we
idea.
decide that it was going to be following your passion and your,
Yeah, but I'm doing that though. I'm only working like 2 days a week.
Okay.
That's not so bad. It was a lot more before, right?
I was
Okay.
working I had a stretch where I worked like 14 days in a row.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. I mean, you're taking steps. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That's-
At least you're taking steps.
Exactly.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
One
while
day at a
you're
time.
taking steps in the pool, some other asshole's like, "What's she doing?"
Jump-
And cannonballs in.
Jump in,
They're
right?
gonna learn faster.
Would you think they're going to grow faster? Or do you think growing still takes time?
I think the best way to swim is to get in there and struggle.
Yeah. Struggle
Yeah.
your way through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, you might drown, but there's a lifeguard. Somebody help you.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Do it under a controlled environment. You're all right.
Yeah. Do it with the lifeguard around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole, because it's a fear. Essentially, it's a fear. Quitting your job, there's some sort of fear like, oh, I might not have any money. I'm going to
not
run
worried
out of
about
my.
that. I think I'm worried about letting them down. I don't want to let them down. I don't.
Well, you're letting yourself down, so that sucks. That's even worse. But like the whole fear thing.
It
right?
sounds like you've got a good coach
Oh, so-
here. That's okay.
The whole
That's
like
okay.
the whole fear thing we got. It's like fail early and responsibly. You ever hear that? FEAR. Fail early and responsibly. So I think as long as you're doing it under controlled circumstances.
Yeah. False evidence appearing real. They have a bunch of them, right?
There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about that one.
Yeah. False evidence appearing real.
Yeah, it's great. It's perfect.
It is good. And I like the
It's perfect 'cause just to describe what you just said, which is like I don't want to let them down. You have no evidence for that.
yeah.
They'll find another you. They're a business. They expect you to quit.
They won't find another you, but they'll find another person that can do your job.
True.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now I'm not the gentleman. I'm the asshole.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to go back and forth, host and co-host, right?
Yeah. 1-1. We'll see what the score is by the end of this thing.
So you brought something over to me tonight, and you have a copy of this as well.
Right.
Let's talk about that for a minute,
Okay.
because right now we might as well hold each other accountable for this.
That's great.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So, first of all, Dan and I are going to be doing a personal growth program from Kevin Trudeau. It's called, I can't even remember what it's called, and I just ordered it.
Mastering your
Wish something? Anyway, we'll figure it out. It's downstairs. Let's talk about your program. We're going to be doing that first, would you say? You want to get that done in 14 days, or do you want to do it at the same time?
You know what? They can actually be intertwined, and it's perfect because
Okay.
one of the things that can coexist with our program is something like this.
Okay.
So it's actually perfect.
Okay, cool.
She might get in on it as well. Who knows?
Absolutely. So we do the 14 days, and then we've got it's called your best year ever, right?
Best year ever. Yeah. It's
Best
a program
year.
I've been doing my whole life.
Yeah.
Not my whole life. Not at all. But like since I did it, my life started.
Has changed. Has
Started.
begun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goal setting, man. So
Are
important.
you ready for this? It's a year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
This is gonna be my best year ever. It's already being my best year ever. So
I agree. I think you're doing fantastic things.
thanks. You too.
You're welcome. Thank you. And so your number one dream, besides being an A-list celebrity.
I don't need to be an A-lister.
Okay, you don't. Okay, you
If
want
I
to.
get there, I think that'd be great. But
Okay,
I just want to be able to make a living doing what I love. So if I can succeed with that,
but when you say doing what you love, it's a pretty broad category,
I
right?
know.
What do you see yourself really picking? Like, is it a Is it movies? Is it doing something vocally? Is it music? What is it? Like what?
I think that I would prefer movies. I feel more comfortable doing movies. I mean,
Yeah.
I love recording, but I love recording because I can be in a booth by myself. When it comes to actually like singing on stage, it actually makes me quite nervous.
Really?
Which is why I also don't like to perform in live theater.
But you've done some karaoke and done some live streams.
Oh yeah, I've gotten a lot better.
Right.
A lot better. When I was a kid, I used to have recitals and I would cry after every one because I couldn't breathe properly because I was so nervous. And if you can't breathe properly when you're singing, then you can't sing properly. It's shaky and it doesn't sound good. So I knew that I could sing so much better, and I'd be so disappointed in myself because I would go out there and I'd get so nervous and I couldn't do it. So I do suffer with stage fright still, but I've gotten way, way better at controlling it. And now I can actually like just calm myself down and breathe properly when I sing. So it has gotten better, but it's still kind of there.
Do you ever try looking at that as, instead of sort of being nerves that that scare you, as being some kind of excitement? For
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Does switching your perspective on that help?
Yeah, I think that's more something that I've just recently started doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I mean, everyone said, like, if you talk to the like Beyonce or anyone that's up there, they still get nervous when they're going out.
Sure.
There. So
yeah.
It's you just have to channel it in the right way.
Right. Mm-hmm. What about any kind of anxiety or mental health stuff? Have you ever had any struggles throughout the years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What has that been like for you? I mean, what have you had to deal with? Any kind of depression at all?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. I've gone through like bouts of really, really bad depression. I was actually on antidepressants, not for long, maybe for like a 2-week period. And then I was like, what am I doing? I don't need these.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely a hard thing. And you need to learn how to handle it properly and really change your mindset around. But if you don't really have, like, for the people out there who don't really have someone there to help them through those times, I can see where it would be really, really hard for them and why they would lead towards things like suicide and stuff like that, you know, because they feel like they don't have someone to like get them out of it. You really need someone to sort of help you with juggle your thoughts around.
So who helped you with that?
I'm lucky. I have a really good friend, my best friend Haley. She always has gotten me through like those really tough times. Yeah. But I think it's normal for people to sort of go through those struggles. Maybe some people struggle more than others, I think.
Yeah. What age was your roughest bout of depression?
I would say it's been an ongoing thing, so it's been like in and out over the years. But I would say it probably started when I was about in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the same as me. What about you, buddy? I didn't ask you this question last time. You ever had any kind of anxiety they got to a point where it kind of crippled you, or any kind of depression, or have you always been kind of...
Yeah, looking back at it now, I'd word it differently.
Yeah, what would you tell me that?
I just think it's a lack of gratitude. 95% of the time. Yes, sometimes there is chemicals like imbalancing going on in your mind. Where it's causing depression, where like the happy, endorphins are just not being created. Broke my phone again. See, it's just, like, I think at the end of the day, in most cases, you're not depressed. You're just... You're spoiled,
okay,
and you're not being grateful for what you have,
right?
Because a lot of the things that you really should be grateful for, you got for free, and we place little value on them, and we're not caring about them and respecting them,
right?
And so
we look at a lot of
at
people who are depressed that aren't spoiled, though. I don't know if I'd use that term.
No, you're spoiled because you know what? You're spoiled in the sense that you are lucky you're even alive.
Yes,
you are lucky you are even alive. You are spoiled rotten. The fact that you made it here.
Yeah.
The fact you got here. Because you had a 1 in a billion chance to get here. You kidding me?
Yeah. You hit the lottery. I've heard that before as well. It's like Gary
Vaynerchuk.
Yeah, Gary Vee talks about that.
But even before that, I've kind of just now changed my mindset to thinking about that. It's just there's always something to be grateful for, regardless of what is going on. So I think for me, anxiety through the roof, panic attacks through the roof. I had them so often, it was unreal. I actually have a whole segment of a book that I'm writing on anxiety and my belief on it and what I think it really is, and which at the end of the day is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
it's a sea of bullshit. Anxiety, that whole term. What does that even really mean?
Sure,
so.
But you did get these feelings at one point in time, right?
Right, but you get them. I think you
get them based on your way of thinking.
It's a thought process.
Your way of thinking, and a lot of stuff that affects your thinking, which is food, which is diet, which is going to have a big effect on your thinking as well, I believe. Yep. So you change all those little things up, start being grateful, and start caring about things in a different way.
Right.
You'll start you'll start enjoying the small moments.
Sure.
Smiling.
Sure.
Just finding a reason to smile, and
Right.
you'll have them if you search for them, if you find them.
Yep.
And a lot of times, people that have anxiety and depression, I'll challenge them, and it's funny when you're talking to them, they want to hang on to it. They want to hold it
because they're getting something out of it,
yeah,
right?
they almost
Yeah.
enjoy it. So and then when you try to get them to look at it differently, they don't want to. They want to stay on the fact that no, this is shitty because it actually feels good to them.
Right.
So until you make that switch.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of talk about that and what you get out of being anxious and being depressed, whether it's something that's been programmed as a kid. And I think last time I sort of mentioned that when you are sick as a kid, you tend to get more attention and you get more love, right? And I think that it all really comes down to love, and we all want people to love us. And how do you get that love? And whether you're dealing with it subconsciously and thinking it's anxiety and depression, maybe you're getting those feelings, but what's going on up here that's creating those chemicals, right? I mean, that's going to be your cortisone, and that's going to be your adrenaline, and that's going to be what's causing these panic attacks.
Past influences and everything else.
Sure, right? But I couldn't agree with you more. I think that it's all about changing the way that you think. I think it's all about being grateful for just being alive. Every time that you breathe is a blessing.
I always try to tell myself, like, if I ever have those, I'm like, at least I can, like, walk. You know what I mean? Like, there's people out there who can't walk, and, like, at least my body is in. I can still do, like, everything. So it can always be a million times worse. It doesn't matter how bad it is. It can always be worse than what it is. There's someone out there that's going through something worse than you are. So
and I think it starts with baby steps too, like that gratitude mindset that you're talking about. This is where I talk about change taking time and practice. You practice anything long enough, you'll get good at that. And if that's having panic attacks, you can get good at those too. Right?
Yeah, it's just acknowledging the feeling. And panic attacks, I think for me, it was just again, it's all fear. Yeah. The feeling comes up.
It is all fear.
It's like, it's there. And then you pay more attention to it. Then you start thinking more of it. Oh, it's going to get worse. And this is going to happen. Then you start actually creating that when just letting the raw sensation kind of just, there it is. There it is again. And then slowly it'll just pass. And it still happens to this day. You get them, but I don't think it's anxiety. I think it's just like your body just trying to protect itself, and it's just trying to tell you something like, hey, is everything okay right now?
Right.
Like, I think we have some fear here.
Yep.
And it's your job not to not to engage with it and succumb to it. Right. Essentially, just being like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, all right, fine, all right, peace.
I wish people would understand that our minds are still prehistoric.
Huge, yeah.
And our technology is increasing so rapidly that we cannot keep up. We're not going to be able to ever adapt with how quickly technology is changing. Unless the limitless pill actually exists and it's coming out. Right. I keep seeing this news shit about it coming out. Right. But even then, do you want to be dependent on that to keep up with how things are going? I think I'd rather stay a little bit natural and tone it down a bit. Right. But the key thing I'm trying to say is that our minds will always have the fight or flight response built in. But you're not necessarily going to be, when you get out of bed in the morning, there's nothing to be really afraid of. It's not a life or death situation. You're just thinking about the monumental things that you find are going to be a big deal and stress you out throughout the day.
Yeah, the scratch in your car and the rip in your jeans.
And everything that you can really focus on.
The fact there's no mayo left in the fridge.
Yeah, I got to go to the grocery store and I got to do this. Yeah.
Oh my God. When the fight or flight, like you're talking prehistoric, you woke up in a house.
Yeah.
In a bed. Yeah. In $1,000 bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're waking up like, you're looking at your phone. You're like, my phone's dead. my electronic device that can communicate with space is dead.
Yeah.
The charger didn't work all night.
First world problems.
Yeah, and like, God.
Did you see the Louis C.K. bit on that?
No, what is it?
He says the same thing. He says, like, he pulls up his phone and it was on one of the talk shows. I think it was on, it was Jimmy Fallon. I think he was on it. I believe. Right. I could be wrong. But he pulls up his phone and he says, kids today, he says the same thing. He's like, these millennials are so fucking spoiled, right? And he said, they look at their phone and look, it's taking too long to load. And he's like, to load? Yeah, he's like, give it a fucking second. It's got to go to space.
Right.
Like, give it a fucking minute, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. It's,
it's so true, though.
Yeah,
it's so true.
But the thing that isn't the joking matter is the suicide rates that are increasing, and people thinking that they don't have the choice to make these small changes over time that can really bring them back to a comfortable place.
Yeah.
And the fact that both of you have been there, especially, like, I didn't know, this is news to me about your...
Dude, huge. They wanted to put me on all types of stuff.
And did you just say no, or did you ever try it?
I said no.
Yeah?
I just... And at that point, I don't think I had a shred of personal development at that point. Like, I wasn't doing any growth. I just felt it wasn't the right way to go.
Yeah.
I felt like it was going to be going down a wrong path. And then over time, just realized how to control it and realize that you're not your thoughts. I think so many times we identify with our thoughts. And just because a thought's coming up, that's not you.
The first problem is calling that my thought. Thoughts come from fucking who knows where. They just pop in and they pop out.
Let's sit here silent for 2 seconds. You're going to think some ridiculous shit.
Absolutely.
Sam Harris, he's just like, man, if my thoughts were on a loudspeaker, you'd think I've gone crazy.
Yes. Yeah. And that's everybody walking around.
Legit.
Right?
Of course. He always thinks like, it's like, to say that you are the author of your thoughts it would suggest that you think your thoughts before you think them.
That's true.
No.
Yeah, you're somehow masterminding everything that you're about to think about. That's crazy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So you don't. So thoughts come into consciousness, and then you have a decision to like kind of engage with it or not. Mm-hmm. And then even then, it's still another thought, and this is a whole other conversation. But to know that you're not the thinker, and just be aware of it is actually, some people would get scared by that concept.
Right.
I find it's incredibly peaceful.
It should be a release. It should kind of let you feel like, okay, well, I'm not in control of all this stuff coming in. What I have the choice to do is to hold on to the good things that are there.
Filter it.
Yeah,
precisely.
Absolutely. So, what's worked for you? You said you tried medication for a brief while.
Very short. I just decided it wasn't something that I want.
Yeah.
I've never liked having to rely on a medication.
Right.
It's just not something that I want to do.
Right.
So, but I feel like I had a lot of sleep problems. I've had sleep problems like really,
I did
really bad.
too. Yeah.
I've been on sleeping pills.
What kind?
Lorazepam was. I was on
that
that
seems
for
to
a
be a
while.
go-to. I was on Imovane, which is the bluebird. You ever seen the bluebirds?
No.
We call them bluebirds, but they're 7.5 milligrams. I was on those for like years.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't sleep, and I was seeing a psychiatrist at the time.
Yeah.
That thought it was totally okay for me to be taking these. Meanwhile, this is why you have to do your own fucking research. There was a ton of evidence of people that have been just dropping dead from taking these things. And I had taken them for,
doubt it.
Yeah, and I'd been taking them for over 2 years every night, and they were such a pain in the ass to get off.
Oh yeah, mine were. I wasn't even on mine for that long, and even mine,
Right.
I struggled to get off of them. But I was like, this is freaking me out. Like I don't want to have to rely on these pills. But now that I've gotten into like meditation and like just calming myself down at night and not like pulling up my computer and doing all that shit that keeps my mind running and just calm it down, then it should help everyone with their sleep.
Yeah.
More people should be starting to meditate for sure.
So when you say meditation, is that like a relaxation guided meditation that you do?
Yeah, I like the guided ones. They're nice.
Okay. And you do those before bed?
Yeah.
Okay. And they work for you?
Oh yeah. Half the time now that I've gotten used to it, now I'm asleep before they even end.
So a big part of your problem is probably the sleep aspect of it.
Yeah, like I just couldn't calm down my mind, right?
Right.
Whereas meditation makes you do that and drop all of the thoughts out of your head. It's just like it was too much in my head, and I just kept going, and I couldn't relax. So
okay,
I think that's everybody.
Yeah,
that's everybody.
Yeah, I agree, and
you're a victim of your thoughts.
Sure,
and most people are just controlled by them and don't look at them any different. And then meditation, which is crazy that medication is so close to that
meditation.
word. It's literally just one letter difference.
Yeah.
And but the 180 degrees different outcome and health for your body.
One is a benefit without any side effect.
Absolutely.
That's the meditation.
Absolutely.
Actually, the side effect is growth and a better life.
Right.
So it's a positive side effect as opposed to the medication, which is
a benefit with a million side effects.
Those commercials always get me. They're like, but this can help you with this, but you're going to have to deal with this and this and this and this and this.
90% of the commercial.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it never ends. It's like, holy crap, how could this be good for anyone?
Yeah. So going through the day now, what do you do when you feel that anxiety creep up? Like Dan focuses on gratitude. What do you focus on?
I think I just try to focus on like just staying calm and that it's not a big deal, or just trying to keep myself like just breathe.
So
I just breathe through it.
So would you say that is a conditioned response from doing the meditation at night?
Yeah,
potentially.
My anxiety actually hasn't.
She just pictures me bitching at her. Shut up! It's okay.
Yeah. What do you do when you get stressed out?
Not
I call
real.
my coach. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just try to like breathe through it and stay calm.
Yeah. I think you bring up a good point though. It is all fear-based or something's bothering you.
Yeah.
Even if you're having a crazy thought like, oh, I want to stab this person. I mean, if you could be out for lunch with someone that's rambling, and I know I've had times where I'm like, I'm going to punch this guy in the face right now, right? Or like, I'm going to hit this guy.
I knew you were thinking that the last time we were at Jackass.
But it's random, and then you think, okay, what's really bothering me? Why do maybe I feel like I need to get out of here because I'm feeling like there's something I have to do. Why do I feel like that's more important than this right here? So I think that as you start to meditate and do the guided meditation, you kind of condition a relaxation response, especially if you're focusing on breath.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. It's a really important key point is to just anytime that you get stressed out, focus on your breathing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And be thankful for having breath.
Gratitude.
Yeah, exactly.
And EFT is a quick one.
Yeah. What's EFT?
The emotional freedom technique.
Yeah.
Have you heard of that?
No.
So you tapping on the meridians?
Okay. I've heard of EFT by someone that messaged me saying they wanted to come on here and talk about it, but I've never explored it.
Great.
So
I did it for a long time, and I still do it. Pretty much every day.
So what is it?
So you got like 12 meridians, I think there is.
In your body, running through your body?
Yeah, so it's like in your head, there's here, here, and then, until you get to your wrists.
Yeah.
You tap here. And you just kind of affirm things to yourself while that's happening.
What kind of affirmations do you say?
I am who I am, and that's okay. You're just you have a whole bunch. You just select the ones that are like kind of close to you.
Yeah.
And then you start making your own. You start going off into these other things. And the good thing to do is you do it in front of the mirror. So you're looking directly into your soul.
Yep.
There's no souls, but you're looking directly into your eyes. Right. And you're talking
your
to
heart. Let's tell it your heart center.
Your heart. Yeah, you're looking in yourself and you're telling yourself these things.
Yeah.
So you believe it.
Yeah.
When you're looking at yourself, it becomes so much more real.
Yeah.
So I think that a good form of meditation is to do it directly in front of a mirror.
Yep.
Looking at yourself so you can feel it a lot more.
Yep.
And you're telling yourself what you need to be worried, what you need to not worry about, or what you need to be comfortable about, and so on and so forth.
How long have you been doing that?
Been doing that for about 2012, so like 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Now I don't do it as in depth as I did because now it's conditioned,
Yeah.
But the odd time, there's simple meridians like I can tap here.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might see me doing that just out and about. Like if I start feeling stressed, I might just start tapping down here.
Right.
I'll just do it here so you can't see it.
Right.
It's just pretty much me telling me to shut the fuck up.
Really?
Just shut up, you idiot.
Really?
Think it's some crazy thought and just
put that stop
short.
sign
we're
up.
On what Jesse always says. We're on a rock flying 1,000,000 miles per second, spinning like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Why do I care? I'm nothing.
Yeah.
Why do I care?
Yeah.
Relax, man.
And that's actually a really
great.
good. It is. It's freeing when you realize you're not that important. It really is.
Yeah, you could make it. You probably scares you a little bit. I think when we talk, you're like, I don't like that.
Yeah, but you know what? That's letting go of, just like when you say that's my thought. I mean, that's your ego that's trying to grab onto things that aren't its to grab onto. It's it's
right.
Yeah, so I totally get that.
Who are you to care?
Yeah, just think about things on the larger, like the big picture is, get the most out of what you don't know why you're fucking here, really. I mean, you follow your heart to the best that you can. You try to leave the world a better place than you found it. Most of us at least try, I think. I think that's the only way to have a meaningful life is to make it impactful, to follow your passion, and to try to leave the world a better place than you found it. Or else,
for sure.
Why don't you just disappear right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously. Mm-hmm. What good are you doing? If you're not leaving this planet better for someone that's coming along, why the fuck do we need you? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, and that's not like a,
What do you think we should do with those people?
Well, I'm just saying, make a change. I'm not saying don't exist, but I'm saying
maybe we could just all put all of them. Maybe we just do a type of survey where we can disguise the questions to figure out who those people are,
and then they
send them off to an island.
Yeah,
just all those
growth island. You guys need to really do some development. But anyway, I mean, I really enjoy having this conversation with you guys. I mean, we started off just kind of asking some funny questions, but this is where I like to get to kind of head with it. So you're feeling like he gave some great advice. Your future, I mean, when it comes to dealing with anxiety and depression, Did you learn some stuff tonight?
Did I learn some stuff tonight?
Yeah.
I've been learning stuff like for the past
ever since you met Dan.
Yeah.
You've been How do you find that? I'm curious because there are people. I think we've talked about this before too.
Today.
Yeah, today. Just briefly today.
Right.
So there are people that need an escape from a previous shitty situation, whatever that may be. Maybe it's something that you think you want. Are you going to go back to what's comfortable? Can you handle this kind of,
This is good for me. I need this.
Long term? Can you handle it, or are you going to start to resent him for it?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like it's been really good for me so far. I think that mentally before I wasn't really in that great of a place. I had a lot of growth that I needed to do like in myself. So this is good for me. I need someone to push me because like I feel like I'm usually the one that's pushing other people and no one's ever focusing on me. So I'm always just like stuck in the background trying to like push everyone else forward and I'm not getting anything of what I need. No one's ever been like, you need to do this and blah and this and this and this and like this will help you.
Right.
Whereas I'm just always like trying to help others and it's nice to have someone actually help me.
Good.
No, that's a good answer and I believe you and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Now, talking is one thing. Let's see in a year from now if that book is complete.
Right. And that goes for both of us because we both said that here now.
Yeah.
So
I did that 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, just honestly, anybody watching, the Best Year Ever by Darren Hardy, who's the owner of Success Magazine.
Yeah.
Publisher of Success Magazine.
I looked him up after we talked about him.
You'd never heard of him before.
Yeah.
Right? Compound Effect? You never read that book?
Compound Effect is a big one. I've heard of the book. I've never read it though.
Amazing book.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of concept as The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. I don't know if you've read that or heard of him.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I've
just
heard
the idea of doing something small and then it gets a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger.
Right.
If you've never worked out a day in your life, work out 1 minute.
Right.
Just do 1 minute. And then next day you might do a minute and a half.
Right. Right.
But so get The Best Year Ever. And I can literally attribute a lot of the growth to that book and setting goals and just the process of it. So rigorous and beautiful that I recommend it to anybody that I'm close with.
Yeah.
If they ever ask me any types of questions. Now, I've given that book out maybe 20, 25 times.
That many, eh?
Literally lots, because I had a team, right, that I was trying to help grow and with Vi.
Yep.
And I'd give that book out. And I think most people would last like 3-4 months and they'd stop. Because, that feeling of excitement, determination is like, it's
fleeting.
It's the power to consistently do what you're doing long after that feeling of motivation is
gone.
Weared off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Worn off. Worn off. Yeah.
Weared off. Worn off.
There you go.
So long after that feeling has passed, right? And I think that's the whole consistency thing. So I always challenge people. Let's see if you can do it for a year. They say, I could do it.
Yeah.
Damn right, I'll do it. No.
Yeah.
Only person was Jeff. And he himself didn't even do it the first time. He stopped.
Good job, Lisa.
And then he did it the next day, the next year. He's like, you know what? I'm doing this. And he did it. And his life has fucking changed.
Absolutely,
His whole
man.
life
I
is
had
changing now.
I had him on here sitting in your chair, and it was like talking to a different guy. And he's awesome, man. He's got like...
Because he wasn't awesome before.
Well, no, he was awesome. He was awesome before, but it was really awesome to see the changes. Lost weight, exercises regularly, and really just is going after everything that he wants. And and he also attributes it to the same thing. And you've done a lot of reading. I mean, you're mentioning books that I hear about in some of the audio programs that I do, but it takes me a while to read. So I kind of prioritize what I need to read first, right? And like, for example, Kevin Trudeau was talking about Napoleon Hill and his story and Think and Grow Rich and all that. I have that book sitting here. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, boy, it's like the best book ever.
It is, and that's a really cool story, actually, behind it. But so some of the books that I have, I just haven't gotten around to yet.
Yeah.
Right? So with you doing all this reading, and I'm sure there's so many different programs that are recommended in these books.
Right.
Have you done many of those besides?
I've done lots.
You've done lots. And this one is by far the one that's most impactful.
If I had to give one person anything, it's this.
Yeah.
It's definitely this.
Okay.
Because it's the true test of how badly do you want it.
Right. Fair enough.
Because it doesn't take a lot of effort. It really doesn't. But that's exactly why it's easy to do, but it's easy not to do.
Sure.
Right? Because if you know it just takes 2 minutes at the end of the night, like, I'll do 4 minutes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way. The moment you do that, you're it's better to have an apple a day than 7 on Sunday.
Dude, it's so funny that you mentioned that, because I was literally thinking when I wrap up this whole season of, I do a mental health podcast on Sundays right now that's all about with a couple other guys, Paulie O'Byrne and Scott Millen, and we focus on CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, exactly what we're talking about, switching those negative thoughts to positive thoughts. Right. And then at the end of that, I was thinking, what can I do that's really more beneficial? And I thought, you know what if I sat and meditated, and I said I was going to do that live for a full year, for a half hour every morning at 7.
A live meditation?
A live meditation at 7 in the morning for a full year, and I didn't miss a day. Because it's the same thing. Meditation, my meditation is different than your my meditation is sitting with your eyes open, and I'll teach it to you sometime, anytime you guys want. But the idea, this is the kind of meditation, it's actually called a Zen practice. Zen is just meditation. And it goes all the way back to sort of the samurai, and this is the way that they kind of, Buddha became enlightened, just by following this method. And I thought, you know what, if I can stick with this every day, which I'm doing okay at, but the same time is tough to do, and not that you necessarily need to do it at the same time. Same philosophy though. It's just like Bruce Lee said. It said, I don't fear the guy that kicks 1,000 times a day. I fear the guy that does one kick over 1,000 days.
100%.
So that's where it comes in, and that's something that this aligns with. I mean, if I was to do the meditation every day, I had to do that. You don't want to take on too much too, right? So,
yeah. I wonder, as far as meditation goes, having the live on there. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously meditation is to practice being in the now consistently.
Yeah.
You think with the live stream going on while you're meditating, you think that would interfere at all with the way that you're just closing out your...
That's interesting. It's an interesting thing to think about, but I think that the whole goal is to eventually build people that want to do it together through social media, because right now, if I want to do it with people, I have to go down the street to the Zen Center, and I have to sit there inside, and it's inside a house.
Isn't that the first step, though, is doing it with other people, and then eventually you want to do it yourself?
Well, they say that it's always potentially better to do it with others. You can pick up others' energy, and you can always learn. There's always sort of a Dharma talk and things like that as well from the teacher. It's always better to have a teacher, especially that they say that you get to this place at some point in time of sort of emptiness, where you kind of lose, you don't care about pretty much anything. And this is where
my fear of meditation, man, because I know you keep doing it and we're gonna end up on a fucking park bench and just like, nothing matters. This is way better.
There is. I mean, but you don't go into a trance. That's the idea is that you don't trance out. That's something that can be dangerous.
Right.
But when you go into a spot of emptiness, that's why the samurai loved the meditation, is they never had a teacher to pull them out. So they'd go to a place where it was easy for them to take lives. And by meditating, they became so focused that they could see other people's sword swings well in advance. You're so laser focused in that fight. No wonder they did so fucking well and no one could defeat them. But they also didn't carry any guilt or remorse, so they could just kill people and walk on with their lives, right? So
for all the serial killers out there, meditate. You'll be able to do it twice as fast.
Well, there is a place, and this is obviously beyond where I'm at, and I don't understand, but I have been told that it does happen, and that's why you need a teacher and you need to be with people, because you will go through some changes to get to where you need to be to become enlightened, which I know sounds kind of crazy to people that have never heard this before.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah, but you have to go through the darkness to see the light, right? So it's kind of how it is. And I'm far from that, dude. This is new to me within the last couple of years, but I try to stay at it as frequently as I can, and I read about it. And that's why I haven't read some of those books, is because I wanted to learn more about that before.
Man, I can't wait for you to do this program, man.
Yeah.
It takes everything that you're doing and just compiles it into what's important.
Really?
And you get rid of all the crap. You stop doing the crap.
Yeah.
It's just course correcting constantly and going to exactly where you want to go.
Right.
Yeah, I think you guys are going to love it.
Awesome. Well, let's high five on that note.
I was actually just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't get a high five, and I gave
here. Well, I was expecting you to join in on that.
Well, you went directly to her, not in the middle.
All right, there we go. Because the middle high fives always seem to be the lamest, but that was good with you guys. I felt the goodness
right,
there.
That was all right.
It was okay. So on that note, do you guys have anything else you want to say for this evening?
I think I've said enough.
You have said
I think I've said more than a co-host normally should.
No, but this is great because I mean, Tiff's obviously admitted that she looks up to you and your advice and kind of thinks of you as a
just a little taller
positivity coach in a way. But would you call him a positivity coach or more of like
positivity coach?
Like a strict a drill sergeant type?
No, he's good.
He's good.
He's good, yeah. He has his moments where I'm like, okay, dude.
Does he ever ride you too hard?
Yeah.
Pun intended. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding.
No, I do tell him that sometimes though, and then he's like, okay, and then I'll be like, I need you to like take it back just a little bit. Just give me a little credit here.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
So a little bit of
give her the credit.
A little bit of acknowledgement. So not enough positive reinforcement, would you say, after you've done something good?
No. He still does that. It's just
okay.
But sometimes
just not enough. She wants a ceremony.
No, I think he expects me to do a lot really fast. I think that maybe I'm not necessarily like
right
quite ready for it. But then I'll be like,
that's hard though. When you've made the amount of when you've grown as far as you've kind of come, it's hard to be patient with the people that still have to. I get that.
Of course.
No, for sure. I wouldn't say I'm not patient.
No.
I wouldn't say it's that. It's I just know what I had to do, man, and I know how fast I had to do it.
Right.
So I guess sometimes it's like I'm just giving the honest feedback of what I experienced
from your experience. Yeah.
And you may not think that you need to do that, or you may not think that you may think I'm being too hard on you, but okay,
yeah.
Well, I there's the track record to show that this is why you do have to work at that pace.
Yeah.
Or somebody else will beat you.
Right.
So, I mean, you can get upset that I'm giving you the reality check, but
right.
Fine.
Right.
I needed a reality check, though.
Are you concerned about someone beating you? Is that a big concern for you, or would you rather just move at your own pace?
I wouldn't say it's about, like, beating me.
So you're not making it a competition, but
you kind of have to, because you won't get those roles. Somebody else will.
Right.
Somebody else will. That's
right.
Working harder, training smarter. doing the thing.
So would you say that there always is a bit of a what's it in sales? The word I'm looking for, like an incentive. There's always a time frame that needs to be met.
I mean, I always think about this with music too. Like,
right.
When we would do music, and that's
urgency. There's always a sense of urgency. That's what I was thinking.
I realized music long term wasn't for me when I didn't want to work.
Mm-hmm.
When I wasn't willing to outwork the other person. That's when I realized. I had a realization, like, hey, maybe this isn't what I want long term. Because I know in order to get in the music industry, acting is the exact same way. I mean, everybody and their grandma wants to be an actor, actress, musician, dancer, all that.
Yeah.
You better outwork everybody if you want to make it to the top or make a comfortable living out of it.
Right. Right.
And so I think about the social media world, and for me, I'm not even a fifth of the way of where, in comparison to other people.
Sure.
And I work my ass off.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, like, how much more do I got to work? So it's just getting to the next level and consistently getting harder and harder on myself in a good way, and in a positive way. But man, I'm up till 4 a.m. working on a small piece of a video every day. Like,
right. Yeah.
But there's somebody up till 5.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But they're probably sleeping the extra hour during the day.
Maybe
too.
they're not.
Yeah, maybe they're not.
But they're not. I guarantee you think you're working hard. Somebody's working harder.
Fair enough.
Somebody's working harder.
But does that take away from your moment, dude? Like, do you ever think, like, fuck, I'm not doing this, I should be doing that? Does that take away from your moment? Like, are you enjoying the journey?
Yeah, but there's certain things. Like, if I'm sitting here watching a movie or something, I'm like, when you could feel it, you're like, you're not enjoying the movie enough to the point
where it's worth your time.
If you're thinking I should be doing something else, go do it.
Yeah, turn the movie off, don't finish it, fuck off.
This movie is not going to help your life a year from now.
I hardly ever even watch movies anymore. I don't even have time to watch movies.
There's always something. There's always something that we're...
And then when I feel like if I am sitting watching a movie, I'm like, but I could be doing this and this and this and this.
Yeah, and you'd probably rather be doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, when you find what you're passionate about, you kind of want to be doing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? And I think you found that. Is it fair to say that?
Yeah, and But make no mistake, there's still incredible amounts of work that you don't want to do.
Absolutely.
Right? So even with your passion, and that word gets thrown around a lot. Like, just because it's your passion, that don't mean shit.
No.
You know?
No.
It really doesn't mean anything. That's the first ingredient. That's a very important part.
At least you realize that. Most people go through their whole lives not even knowing what they're passionate about.
Right. And it's a lot of the times your passion is just what you're kind of doing deliberately anyways. Like if you had the day off, what do you really want to do? That's, and it's not sitting on the couch. There's something that you're doing. Maybe you're like, you got a hobby of some sort.
Right.
And it's not video games either. There's something there. And whatever that is, because you're doing it for free, do that.
Yeah.
Do that thing. But know that you got to work on it.
Sure.
You got to work hard on it. It's just because you're good at it, you still got to work.
Right.
And that's the I think that's the word that a lot of people are afraid of.
Right.
Work.
Yep.
Well, it's my passion. I shouldn't really have to work too hard. Work.
Yeah. Well, so are you saying that I should up my masturbation from 5 to 10 times a day?
Yeah, you won't be able to do that, man. By the 6th time,
I'll get blisters, man. Yeah.
Nothing will come out. It's be air.
Anyways.
So that's my last words. So
yeah, those are great.
Ever.
Those are great last words. I appreciate that. Do you agree?
Picture of Tiff that you have here, by the way.
Oh, right behind. I know that was painted.
Have you seen this?
I got that. I got that
Thanks,
just for
Dan.
you. Do you like all the naked women around here? It's just to try to get you to.
I
openly
actually
discuss.
think they're quite tastefully done. So yeah, I'm fine.
Thank you. I did them myself. Just totally kidding. I did not. I'm passionate about women, but I get someone else to paint them.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. What are you passionate about long term? Is it going to be forever acting? Are you going to go social media, or is it just?
Right now it's like, ideally I want to be acting in movies. That would be the thing.
And
that I
then,
really want to do.
and then, what are you passionate about? A lot of movie stars sort of go from their roles, making their money, to doing some kind of humanitarian project. Have you thought about anything along those lines? Like your deep passion.
Deep passion?
Yeah. How do you want to change the world? Do you want to change the world?
Yeah, your why.
Yeah. What is your why? Exactly. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Why do I want to change the world, or what would I do to change it?
Well,
What's your reason to do what you're doing?
Yeah,
and
sure.
it's not to be famous.
The reason I already said why I'm doing it though is to make a comfortable living.
That's not the reason why.
Then what's the reason why?
It's deeper than that. You got to do it for deeper than that.
Yeah. Can we get to that?
That will only last so long.
Once you're there, what do you want to do? I mean, maybe it's too early to tell. Maybe you haven't really thought about it.
I haven't thought about that actually.
One step at a time?
Yeah, but
Okay,
that is an
fair enough.
interesting thought.
Yeah, I feel like there is definitely something that you're passionate about that's underneath all of this that will eventually come up.
Right.
Once you've achieved that goal, there's going to be something.
Oh, of course. There's always another goal that comes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
There should always be different goals coming up.
Yeah, and I know that do you do it for the same reasons as Dan? Because I know that Dan's reasons, and this is really interesting now that I know that you've had some anxiety and depression and panic attacks and stuff when you were younger, but you originally told me the main thing that you get from doing the pun videos is that one comment that comes up saying, "Man, I've been so depressed and your video made me laugh. I haven't laughed in a month."
That's hands down.
And
hands
that's
down.
Is it safe to say that's your why for the pun videos? Or like one of the most rewarding factors of doing that?
That's the reward.
Yeah.
That's definitely the reward. And then I think about some of the monetary gains that when that comes in, and it's not to get your own. It's not for me to have a comfortable living.
Right.
I mean, obviously that's great. I mean, the materialistic stuff is great, but it's always what can you give? Giving is living. Tony Robbins all day. It's
Yes.
giving that's the best part.
Yep.
So what are you going to do with that? And for me, I think we've talked about this before. I want to
Let's
get
talk
involved
about it
with the
again.
group homes, and
Yep.
I want to get involved in group homes and foster care, and come in there and give them the speech that they're missing.
Yep.
Give them the talk that they don't get.
Because of your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, give them the story, and give them what if they just knew what was possible. A lot of times they're just not getting that. They're not getting that. They
Right.
feel like they're stuck.
Right.
You're in this life, and that's it. That's the card you've been dealt. Now, a lot of times that's true because they don't have anybody to come and change their mindset or give them a second opinion.
Right.
So I want to come in there and do that.
Right. And that's your end goal.
That's the why.
That's
I
the
suppose.
why.
The why that makes you cry.
After hearing, the why that makes you cry. After hearing that, can you kind of relate to anything on that level, or are you still trying to figure it out?
100%. If I had someone write a message like that on something that I was doing, of course that would be the best part about it. Of
Sure.
course.
So is it the laughter, or is it just maybe making them feel emotion, or?
Yeah, just like inspiring people and like bringing a little joy to their day, entertaining them, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not because of the guys from Pakistan writing 6 messages about how beautiful and in love with you they are? That's not necessarily it, or?
Oh, it does hit the ego for sure. They are so right.
I'm totally kidding. And there's nothing wrong with having fans that are very passionate about what you do. I was just teasing. Sometimes it gets a little much. I'm like, oh, leave the girl alone. Right? Like,
it is a little bit much. Someone actually called, it was like me, my sister, and one of our girlfriends at a bachelorette party, and they commented at the bottom, it's like, this looks like 3 good whores or something like that. And I was like, I don't know if you know that means like actual, like it's not a nice thing to say, or whether like they just can't speak English and they don't quite know that's a total insult.
Do you think? I don't know. I feel like people know that's an insult everywhere.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, no? I deleted it anyways because I was like, I'm not gonna.
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, and then one thing to remember is that there are always going to be people with mental instability that have access to internet, so they might not know what they're saying. That's the way that I try to think of it. For the example is the guy that wrote that thing about pussy on Under You.
I haven't seen that yet.
I said something along the lines of just reel it in, bud. Like, enough there. It's enough.
That's funny.
So anyway, check that out. Is there anything that we should post? Maybe I'll post your video that you guys did together after on the bottom links for people that don't. Yeah, absolutely.
Check out 6 with me.
Anything that you guys want, I'll post it under. I know that your audience is much larger than mine, but it's a different demographic, and they might need a laugh too. So,
dude,
absolutely.
We're all helping each other. It's
Everyone needs a laugh.
Everyone needs a laugh. It's the best medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It is.
On that note, I think we'll wrap up. Tiff, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having
Dan,
me.
awesome for sharing your mindset, as always, dude.
Thanks,
Love
man.
to hear it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this evening. We hope you enjoyed the Woman Crush Wednesday featuring Tiffany Blom and Dan Shaba as the co-host. And we hope you got some really insightful aha moments out of this, because it was a good talk. We geared a little more to the mental health than the sexual side of things, because we have parents watching that might not be as proud as they are right now if they knew the truth.
Right.
So we'll leave it on that note, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for putting up with me tonight, guys.
Thanks.
Cheers. Bye for now.